Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome to The Return with Josh and Maria Cribbs. I'm Maria.
Up?
That's my man Josh over there.
Oh, yeah, baby.
And viewers, we just want to say hello and thank you so much for watching. Hope wherever you're watching, you're having a wonderful day. Josh, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, guys. Welcome to The Return.
The Return.
It's a beautiful day in Cleveland.
It was cold yesterday, though.
It was not cold. To me, it was still a beautiful day. Any day it's not below zero or a tornado that causes huge power outages all across the city, I think it's a wonderful day.
You got that.
Because Cleveland, you don't know what you're going to get. That's why you got to be ready for everything.
That's true. Got to be ready for all the elements.
Yeah.
But Josh, what's going on today?
Yeah, so I just want to hop into football,
Of
if
course.
that's okay.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see why it's only preseason.
I want to take it back to not the preseason game yet. I want to go ahead because me and Ryan had a good conversation last week about the rendition, the new stadium going to Brook Park. And I told you, I remember this, Ryan. I specifically was like, and I'm not tooting my own horn or not, but I said that I believe that it was a ploy. Not that they can't move to Brook Park, Ryan, but that they put out the renderings of the new stadium. They made it look real good with the video just to get more money from the city of Cleveland so they can go back to the table and just make the necessary, necessary renovations.
Enough if you buck.
And get more money. Do you see that happening more now, or do you still sold with the move to Brook Park?
I'm still sold on the move to Brook Park because the way I see it is the Haslams want the dome. I don't think that's even a question at this point, and they're the ones with all the money. And I think at the end of the day, we all know the people with the money, they make the things happen and they get what they want. And that's just the reality for football. It's reality for anything in the world, really. And it's still just a giant chess match. I personally think the renderings that they showed, like I said last week, I don't think they're going to show us those and pull back on them. It could have been a posturing move, but we know now that they're coming out to Cuyahoga County, they're talking about they want the Browns to stay downtown. But at the end of the day, it's not possible to have a new stadium downtown with a dome. There's not room in Cleveland. So I view it as the Haslams want the dome. They're the ones with all the money. They're going to make it happen. I think
not my vote, but I believe that the stadium will stay in Cleveland. And they're going to make all the necessary renovations to the stadium and to the surrounding part of downtown, because I believe that's ultimately what they really wanted. Yes, I think they want the dome and this and that, but I think it's easier and cheaper to make downtown more of an icon. We won't have the Super Bowl because we won't have the dome. I get it.
And one thing we know about wealthy folks, they really be penny pinchers. They don't play that. They do not like to spend money unnecessarily. And
you agree with me that the stadium may stay downtown?
The only thing that I'm thinking about what Ryan is saying is if it's 100%, if it's going to be all go, why not just go ahead and say, this is what we're doing. This is it. Here's your stadium right here. Ta-da.
Because there's a negotiation. So,
but what is there to negotiate though?
Because if Cleveland comes with more money, Ryan,
we have the land. The city's giving us that land. We want the dome. Here's the images. We done had everything, or drawn up.
No, if the city gives them the money that they need, and more, say they give them more money,
right?
So they came in with a number of like $465 million. I think the Haslams was looking more in the $600 and $700 million.
But will
range.
The additional money give them the dome? Ryan, you're saying
they're not going to have a dome downtown.
Okay, but he's saying the Haslams want the dome.
Yes.
They'll forego the dome if they get some more moolah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I think that's
money
what
talks,
will happen.
though, right?
But money talks, just like you said. And I think if the city comes with more, then the stadium will stay downtown.
Yeah, but here's the thing: is every mayor who's been in Cleveland since I've been alive, and probably even 20 years before that, they talk about this lakefront development that has not happened, and I don't think it's exactly. It's not going to happen. I don't even know what they would say is this quote-unquote lakefront development. Because you talk about Cleveland, you want the Cleveland Browns to be like the forefront of this amazing epicenter, for lack of better terms, with all these amazing amenities and restaurants around it with this lakefront development. Why should the Browns stick there if they're not going to ever do it? It's never going to happen. It's just I think they don't want to pony up and pay the money, but they want the Browns to stay downtown. They want their cake and eat it too, but it's not possible.
I just don't think Mayor Bibb wants to be the mayor of a city that lost their team.
Of course he doesn't.
And I think he will just forego and be like, you know what, we got to give him the money, because that will look terrible. He will look better saying, I kept the Browns here. I did what it took to keep the Browns in Cleveland city limits rather than over in Brook Park. That's again why.
But this
I'm
waterfront renovation, why do they keep dangling that in our face? My promise, like every few years on the news, I'll see where they got these drawings of how it's gonna look downtown. Ryan, is there any truth? And Josh, you may have heard this. Is there any truth to the Cavs facility possibly being moved to downtown? Have you heard that?
I don't know. I know they have some sort of new building. I don't know if it's done yet or if it's just like you said, practice facility, something, but it's supposed to be state of the art. I haven't heard anything about it. It could be. I'm not sure, though.
Okay. Because, they're in Independence.
Yeah.
But from what I was watching, they were talking about putting something down here on the lake. So I'm like, okay.
Well, I did want to shift gears a little bit. Before we take a commercial break, I wanted to shift gears to preseason, Ryan.
Yep.
We lost against the Green Bay Packers.
It was ugly.
And it was like, before I give my take, what were your takeaways from the first preseason game?
Yeah, it's preseason football. Could care less about if they win or lose. I could care less if they lost 70-0. And you want them to stay healthy. And unfortunately, that didn't happen. You lost Luke Whippler, your backup center for the year. Injuries happen. It's football. Quick notes, though. Jamari Thrash looked really good in the limited opportunities he got. DTR looked promising again. Yes. He gave him a little bit of life there in the second half. He looked really good. And then other receivers kind of show up a little. Michael Woods was pretty good. Luke Whippler going down was the big note. That's what you didn't want to happen, but at least it was none of the starters. Obviously, I know many of them didn't play, but it was a preseason game. Not much more you can take away from that.
And Green Bay played some of their starters.
Yeah.
They had their guys out there, and it didn't look good. And the takeaway, this is my takeaway. I didn't want to see, a bomb thrown on our defense, respectfully, the best defense in the league, whether it be their starters or not. That's something I didn't want to see. And I'm big on, young talent, Ronnie Hickman, because that's who it happened on. I don't know if it was a blown assignment or, they just ran a good play and caught him off guard. But it didn't look good for the first showing for the team. The miscommunication off the break. But I'm happy. I'm excited that it happened in preseason, so they can go ahead and nip that in the bud because it did happen in the last playoff game. So I didn't want to see that. But like Brian said, Maria, I didn't care less. I was barely tuning into the game. These preseason games, I'm not really.
That's what I was going to ask the viewers. Do you all even watch the preseason games? Because I
think they watch it.
I don't know.
But it's a part of, whether if they care or not.
Right.
We
have 3. How many preseason games we have?
3.
And they're going to be dropping down to 2 next year?
Yeah, if they move it to 18 games.
They move it to 18 games. Okay.
Yeah, so Deshaun Watson.
Mm-hmm.
Deshaun Watson will play in the preseason game versus Seattle. They will practice against them. Is that good enough, Ryan? Green Bay played.
I'm like, let me see it.
Right.
Let me see it.
Green Bay played their starters. Other guys are warming up their starters, and they're trying to keep them safe with 3-step drop, passing routes, quick passing routes, getting the ball out, just so they can get a feel. Right. Is this enough for him to get that, that real game reps?
Yeah,
before the season?
I'd like to see him start the second game against the Vikings. I talk about this with Matt, Matt Fontana. I do the Daily Show with him every day here on Big Play. It's you can't simulate pressure, right? Especially, he's going to be full go for these joint practices with the Vikings this week, and that's great. But the one thing about Deshaun Watson last year was the pocket presence, right? It really wasn't there. He scrambled out of clean pockets a lot. It wasn't fluid by any means. Excuse me. And you can't, like I said, as hard as these guys are going to go in joint practices, there's this hidden rule. You don't touch the quarterbacks. That doesn't happen. But you get him in Seattle, you get a series 2, a quarter maybe. That's good because that's what he needs. Because once you get to week 1 against the Cowboys, you got Micah Parsons coming at you. You can't simulate it in practice. There's just no way. So it's good to get him a little bit of reps here in Seattle or when they play Seattle. But then again, Kevin Stefanski's just been very consistent with it. He wants to protect Deshaun Watson at all costs, and he has to. I get it, right. But it's a double-edged sword, really.
And, I agree with you on that. It is a double-edged sword because for me, just like you said, we want to keep him healthy. We already lost a backup center, right? They just made a trade to get Nick Harris. I believe that's the center that we had here in Cleveland.
Yeah, he came back.
Welcome back, Nick, by the way. But you want to keep him healthy. However, the pocket presence, you can't simulate the type of pressure that you get during a game
time, right?
For quarterbacks. You can simulate it for every other position, Maria, because every other position gets that wreck and that real work. Mm-hmm. And you can go game speed. But The quarterback doesn't get touched, and he knows it. Right. He knows he's not going to get hit in practice. But the knowledge of knowing these guys are coming for you during the game, that changes things. That provides some extra level of readiness for quarterbacks that you just can't get in practice.
You being a QB, I know the quarterbacks aren't supposed to be getting touched, whether there is 2 days or 7-on-7, things like that. Has anybody ever let me go ahead and just touch him? Let me go get him.
Of course.
What happens?
James Harrison.
He did it to who?
He knocked me in college.
On 7-on-7?
No, not 7-on-7.
What were you doing?
It was live. But I had the red jersey on. Again.
And he still tried
across the football world, quarterbacks aren't touched. Across the football world.
So what happens when they get touched? What happened to him?
The coach
did he get reprimanded?
Everybody yells at him. Everybody gets on him.
Reprimand James Harrison.
Nobody reprimanded James Harrison. Nobody. I'm like, Coach, I got the red jersey.
Coach, say something to him.
The coach like, man, you do it. I'm like, whoa, my God.
That's James Harrison, man.
But listen, man, y'all see how it go. We talked about Deshaun. He's going to get that real work for during the week of the Vikings preseason game.
Okay.
Not during the game, and then he will see action the last preseason game versus Seattle Seahawks. I hope that gets him ready to play opening here against the Cowboys. When we come back from a commercial break, I want to hop into Amari Cooper in this trade, knowing that he was on the trade block. Made
me feel some kind of way.
Exactly.
Don't go anywhere, you guys. We'll be right back. All right, now you guys, welcome back to The Return. Now, this segment is brought to you by Affinity Whole Health, which Josh and I were there earlier this week, and we are going to have the footage to show you guys. We had an amazing time. We'll show you that next week on the show. But Affinity Whole Health offers personalized treatment plans to help people feel better. Whether you're struggling with weight loss, low energy, muscle loss, poor sleep, they can help with it all. Affinity Whole Health provides expert guidance and support to help you safely. Now, it's some extreme dieters out there, but to help you safely reach your health goals. And they really have Ohio covered. Josh, they got offices in Cleveland and Columbus, right? And they got some more offices open up, but I don't know if we can share that yet.
Yeah.
But they going nationwide, baby.
They're doing their thing, expanding.
So don't wait any longer. Set up a free consultation by going to AffinityWholeHealth.com.
I can't wait till they see our video.
That's AffinityWholeHealth.com.
Yeah, next week we're going to show you our videos. Work. Yeah.
Josh, they found out his testosterone is super duper duper low.
Yeah, that thing, no. See, I knew she was going to say this.
No, I'm joking.
It's where it needs to be.
We didn't get our blood work back yet, right? But they're going to get it together. So shout out to Affinity Whole Health.
Shout out Affinity Whole Health.
We'll have that footage next week. Now, Josh.
Okay, guys. And this is like monumental for me because I can't imagine myself being in this position. Mm-hmm. Amari Cooper was put on the trading block and was accepted. It was reported that the trade was accepted
by who?
To send Amari Cooper to the San Francisco 49ers for a 2nd-round pick and a 5th-round pick to get Brandon Ayuk. Now, Brandon Ayuk, he's been reported to deny. He denied he didn't want to come to Cleveland.
He didn't want to come to Cleveland.
And so knowing
if you were Amari Cooper, would you be happy about going to 49ers or would you want to stay with the Browns?
But that's my point, and that's my question. If you was Amari Cooper, how would you feel knowing your team just put you on the block to get traded? Like, how would that make you feel?
Some type of way.
Now, Ryan, how would that make you feel? How do you think Amari Cooper feels right now, knowing that they was trying to get him up out of here?
How would you handle it, Ryan? Would you cry?
It's tough, right? I would be upset, obviously. I've been your most consistent offensive player probably in the last 2 years. The only Browns receiver to go 1,000 yards back-to-back. And you did it with 5 different quarterbacks, and you were a bright spot of a rather dark season, injury-plagued-wise, even though they did pretty successful. But, yeah, I'd be upset too, right? I understand that I'm getting a little bit older. I'm 30. I'm going to be 31 heading into my next contract. And that's why, ultimately, he was on the block, right? But I would be upset if I was Amari. But he's been a professional. He's been the poster child for professionalism really his whole career. And this has happened to him now multiple times in his career, right? He started out in Oakland. He was rumored to get traded, went to Dallas. They didn't want to pay him. He got traded to Cleveland. And now he's in this, he may be potentially going to his 4th team if he was to get traded. Yeah, I would be upset too. You just hope it doesn't sour relationships and he realizes that it is all business. And Brandon Ayuk is 40 years younger, so it made sense. But still, if you're Amari Cooper, I would be pretty damn upset.
Yeah, and this is crazy sometimes, but I would say he knows it's business.
I don't think there's no relationships. There's no relationships in the NFL. It's business.
It's business.
I don't really know anyone who. Go.
You're right.
It's not.
As it relates,
you only have friendships with your teammates. Anything else above you, office, front end, you don't really know them like that. So
and that's the thing. There's a slight difference. And you went straight from players to office. Mm-hmm. But I pushed back just a little bit because
don't push
Romeo Crennel told Andre Davis that they were going to trade him and he shouldn't do it. They were going to ask him. No, they were going to ask him to take less money. And he told him he shouldn't do it. You should leave and go somewhere else. Mm-hmm. And that's when Andre Davis, the middle linebacker that we had here in Cleveland, he finished out his career for the Broncos. Mm-hmm. He took a better deal. And that's a coach understanding how valuable he is in the NFL, not just to the team, but as a player.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I think you should go away and take more money.
When
and
I say
that took a lot.
Coaches, you definitely have a relationship with coaches, but I'm saying anything above the GM, owners, things like that, you're not souring anything, but
Right, and I think
I would feel some kind of way though.
Of course, but you can't. It's like it's business. Like Ryan said, this happened to him in Dallas. It shouldn't be nothing new. So it'll be easier for him to business as usual, to be professional, to do his due diligence for the fans.
Let me find
the fans out here doing that.
This is the thing. Let me find out Big Play, Ken, Dave. Let me find out they're trying to trade me to some other channel out here.
They traded her back.
You want me to let me find out. You try to get rid of me.
Give you Maria.
You know who I am.
And
then I gotta come to work the next week and just be like, oh, hey, everything's all no. Nah.
Well, I'm
gonna have a chip on my shoulder. Amari Cooper should have a chip on his shoulder. He should play like it. I hope he stays.
His stats already speak for themselves.
Expensive. Don't nobody.
But listen here, Maria.
You can get a nice, good home. You can get land.
Listen up, man.
We went to Cali. It was so expensive. It was so expensive out there in Oakland. I could not stand it.
Amari Cooper knows who he is as a player.
So expensive out there.
And beyond what Maria is talking about, he's a businessman. And NFL players, we don't just look at ourselves as athletes, Maria.
I'm sorry.
We don't just look at ourselves as athletes. We got to look at ourselves as businessmen.
As a business entity.
And so when we making when things like this happen, it's not about how you feel.
You got to go where the money resides.
You got to go where the money resides. Mm-hmm. And that's funny. You almost made me laugh.
Where the money resides.
and real quick, CeeDee Lamb. Mm-hmm. Put that up if we put that picture. So CeeDee Lamb, Jerry Jones has said, CeeDee, you're missed, okay? But you're not missed out here competing, and it doesn't put any pressure, any place on us. This is what Jerry Jones said to CeeDee Lamb because he's holding out in training camp. He wanted to let CeeDee Lamb know, Ryan, that we're good. You're not putting pressure on us by not practicing at training camp. It's just I don't feel any pressure.
Jerry Jones is also a doofus, and if he was the owner of my team, I would be very pissed because I know he's not going anywhere because he's super, super rich and he's owned that franchise forever. But he's also a really big idiot, and I'm very confident in saying that. They haven't done anything since the 90s, and I understand I'm a Browns fan, but that's not the point. They haven't done anything since the 90s. CeeDee Lamb is literally their whole team. You're going to have to pay Dak Prescott out the wazoo. Who is your other receiver? Michael Gallup's gone. It's Brandon Cooks, who's on his last leg of his career. Jalen Tolbert, who hasn't done anything. Like,
go ahead and lock him down. Basically.
I would be so upset if my owner was coming out and saying that about a superstar, my player. If Andrew Berry ever or Haslam ever came out and said anything remotely like that about Nick Chubb, about Amari Cooper, about Joel Bitonio,
right.
I would be Lord, there's no point in opening your mouth and saying something stupid because you think you hold more power, even though you do, over your players. They're the ones that give you success on the field, and they're the ones that keep fans tuned in.
Thank you.
Yeah, and he tried to walk it back.
It was unwarranted.
Yeah, he tried to walk it back, Ryan, and I was looking at Adam Schefter's Twitter and his response, and a lot of people would be remiss. They said it's not going to happen to where CeeDee Lamb is not wearing a Cowboys jersey. It's just when it's going to happen, not if it's going to happen. But I think when Jerry Jones comes out to say something like that about your starting number one wide receiver, basically
he basically like, we ain't tripping.
He's the guy on your offense, and he's like, hey man, this ain't working. Whatever you doing, I think that's a little disrespectful.
So okay, Jerry Jones get to say what he want to say. But then say CeeDee Lamb, he bites back. He barks back.
Right.
Then what's the protocol for that?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you get to say what
and
you want to say.
He's supposed to be professional, but
right.
the owner ain't.
It should be both ways. Let's both be professional. Because my thing is, I might have to see you at the company Christmas party. Right. I might have to see you in the locker room. Like nobody's trying to be uncomfortable like that. Him. Yeah. It's gonna be like, man, what was all that stuff you was talking?
Like what you was saying.
Right. We ain't in your business. We ain't in the office no more. What's up, man?
Holler at you, bro.
Come catch these paws. I'm about to put them hands on
you. Not the paws.
You gotta put the paws on people sometimes.
They not brown.
The paws of the
I know what the paws are.
You know when you get at church and you pray, somebody they lay hands on you. Prayer. That's all. Just a little bit of prayer to help the team.
We got you. And with that, we're gonna.
You don't even know what to say. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
All right, now welcome back to the show. I was talking about prayer. I wasn't talking about no type of violence.
You wasn't talking about violence.
You lay your hands on people and you pray. That's all.
And another name for hands being laid on you is paws. The preacher put his paws on you.
Paws on you, prayed over you.
To pray to get the demons up out there. Is that what we're saying? That what we're going to go with?
Something like that.
Politically correct.
Right.
Okay, our son played in his first varsity scrimmage this past week. And he plays for Hoban. And
Hoban Knights,
I was able to catch some of the footage here.
Down in Akron.
As you can see.
AK, what's up, baby?
And, he's out there. He's going to do his thing. And I feel like he did a real good job for not being the starter, for having to be fed the plays. And they played a team, TCC, out of Toledo. And I think he did a real good job. I think he
Hold on, what happened at first, though?
He was very nervous. The head coach asked him, Ryan, and said, are you nervous for tomorrow?
Coach T.
And he told the coach, no, I'm good, man, I'm good. And then the next day, coach said, are you good? He was like, man, I was lying about yesterday, man.
Game day.
I mean, them jitters had to come. And he's only in the 9th grade.
But when he first got in, Josh, I was like,
yeah, he threw a few balls
I know what my boy can do.
In the highlights.
I was like, oh, they need to move him back down to freshman. What's
Maria
going on?
was being very
critical.
Like, oh no, he need to go back to freshman ball.
ASAP.
I'm like, he's just a freshman. Ryan, she was being so
like,
hard on him.
Man, Izzy, oh my God, you're the first in the family.
His first debut.
But you did say that's normal. He's nervous.
He threw a couple fastballs at the ground.
Hey, dude, it happens.
As a 9th grader for one of the top schools in the country, a Nike
top 40
school.
schools.
If he wasn't nervous, he'd be doing something wrong.
Exactly.
Okay,
I would be like, hey man, you having anything to drink yet? You good? You
Are you
too
hydrated?
much of a superstar out there. I ain't had them kind of nerves.
Oh, like he juiced up or something?
Like, hey man, let me check your blood. I would have had to give him a blood test. But I think he played pretty well. Mm-hmm. I wanted to talk about Shedeur Sanders and the Colorado.
Okay.
All right. So everybody's been giving them heat, and the hashtag was darts only because they put out a clip, and you got to check this out.
Uh-huh.
They put out a clip of their football practice where Shedeur dropped back and he threw a pass, and the edit that they made was the receiver, number 10, catching the ball in the end zone, and everybody figured, Ryan, this was not the play that he caught the pass because it looked like the ball was going to be incomplete.
Oh.
So everybody put memes out on this. Well, we weren't able to show any of the video, but you got to go online and check out the memes. They had guys, Maria, like doing edits of themselves, even with golf clubs. Like hitting the golf club and you can see the ball miss. And then the next clip is the golf ball going into the hole.
Got to add a little razzle dazzle on there.
But all other college teams, Arkansas did it. A bunch of teams trolled Colorado because of this.
They said it was edited.
They said it was edited. It didn't happen.
Oh.
So because of that, Colorado put out the full clip of the video.
And what happened?
And it happened just as they said.
Let's go.
So I feel like everybody feel kind of stupid. Right. Even though the memes kept coming, they put out the full clip like, nah, this actually happened. The number 10 was doing a wheel route, and everybody couldn't see him because the video was blocked
at one angle
by the lineman.
Yeah.
And you couldn't see the wheel route.
Right.
And it was just like they said it was. It was just, I would say, Ryan,
I saw it, and when I first saw it, I didn't think it was, I thought they completely just lied. But because the edit was horrible, so I don't feel bad. Whoever made that edit and decided to post that, they need a new admin because that was a horrible decision. It did look completely edited. You couldn't even see the receiver on the wheel route. He was hidden, so they should have figured something out. But I mean, yeah, it came out that they showed the video, and it was a nice throw, but they got trolled as they should have. It was a horrible decision to put that out.
Put that out there.
Yeah,
She's like, nah,
it was
scrap
so,
that
like,
one.
yeah.
Because it looked fake.
It looked so fake.
It looked fake. So everybody, the trolls, Maria, are guys throwing the quarterback throwing a short pass. And then the edit would be a long pass for a touchdown that completely shows the opposite. That is not the same clip.
Well, I'm glad the real clip came out.
Yeah, they had to. Because it was like they were the butt of jokes.
Right.
So they had to put out the full clip. And it shows, and it kind of made everybody feel kind of like, okay.
What's going on here?
Yeah, this was not the truth right here.
Right.
So
I'm glad they came out and proved everybody wrong.
They had
But it's crazy because once the first part goes viral, there's really no...
Right.
People saw what they saw. They're not going back and seeing
and I want to ask you guys about this because Dion Ryan he puts the Instagram names of the players on their backs, not their last names. Mm-hmm. Some teams don't put anything because they emphasize no I in team. We're a team. You don't need your name on it. I didn't like that because one year we didn't have our last names on. I'm like, man, how is anybody gonna know that's
on the
me?
Browns or Kent State?
Kent State, and they took the coach said you got to earn that. But in most college teams, especially Power 5, they have their names on their jerseys, their last names.
So at Kent, week by week, people would start getting names.
No.
Just for the whole season, they didn't have...
For one whole season, my sophomore year, we didn't have nothing on our backs. We just had our numbers. But Dion, he's trying to be forward-thinking with the fact that, hey, I know you guys are going to be able to earn money and use your social media handles to make income, and we're going to put your Instagram handles on the backs of your jersey.
Show you that you are the business entity at a young age. Yeah.
Exactly. It does look a little weird. I think Shador needs to shorten his name up S Shador or SS.
It
something.
Is what it is.
But
you like that?
It's a double-edged sword for me. I'm just so old school. But I love the forward-thinking part of it. Because Dion is old school. It don't get more old school like that.
He's forward-thinking, though. He's really
forward-thinking. Ryan, what do you think?
I mean, I think it's okay. I'm just not a big fan of really anything about Colorado. I just think they're so loud on social media, which I get is their whole shtick. But look, when you have 4 wins to back it up, you have 1 win in your conference. It doesn't come off as very intelligent.
They got to win more to get you to win you over.
Man.
Yeah, which is fine, but they're acting like they just won 10 games and have turned Colorado around. Like that hasn't happened one bit.
How are they acting like they won 10 games just because they're trying to increase their social media?
No, I mean, this one example might be a little bit different, but like the way they talk on Twitter, the way Dion's talking about his recruits, it's honestly mind-blowing. Did he get any this season?
Did he get any?
Yeah, he got some recruits.
Okay.
He got some recruits, and some recruits
said we coming,
left.
Baby.
Some guys left.
Hey, Ryan.
But they have something to prove. They have a lot to prove.
See it when I believe. I believe
they
when I see it.
have a lot to prove. They got more work to do this year, and with that, we'll take another commercial break.
We'll be right back. All right, now you guys, welcome back to the show. Josh, I don't know how I feel about the IG names on the back. I mean, because everybody doesn't have IG. Everybody's not on social. But I think what Coach Prime is trying to show them is that you need to be, because this is another way to get money. So, Ryan, back to what you were saying, I think that's why they're so loud on social, because at the end of the day, social media kind of runs our world. So if you can be loud on social, that can flood dollars into your school, into your university, into your students, your players.
Right.
So, it's the way of the world now.
And I think they get to choose that.
Right.
I don't think it's on their practice jerseys. It's not on their game jerseys.
Oh, okay.
I didn't see them on their game jerseys.
Okay.
It's on their practice jerseys.
Yeah, there's no way they would let them do that.
Right.
On
the NCAA,
wait a minute now.
The rules won't let them do that for games, but it's on their practice
So were they the first team to ever do that?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, wow.
I've never seen that. I believe so.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk to you guys about this story. Malika,
who's that?
Her name. Andrews. How she handled, there was a on-air earthquake.
Oh, I seen that. Yeah.
When she was
giving
the broadcast, she was interviewing someone in the studio when suddenly there was an earthquake. And I was thinking, like, what if that was Maria? Like doing an interview with Tony, like we did early in the show, and the whole
Ryan,
studio started to shake.
Man?
And everything started to shake. Would you break character? Exactly. It was live.
No, that's scary.
But it was live television. And she handled it like a champ.
What did she continue on for interview or
she
what?
She said, hold on, guys.
Okay.
Make sure my studio is good in the back. And we started to call them by name. Are we good to go? Talk to her guests. We had a little hiccup here, a little earthquake, but we seem like we're all good. I mean, she handled it like a pro.
I would have been falling, tumbling.
Yeah, she did handle it very well. She made sure everybody was safe, made sure the equipment was stable, it wouldn't fall or anything, and then she just continued, rolled right through the interview. She's a pro's pro.
You guys have it wrong. What you want to do is start falling under the cameras. Start make it if the ceiling start falling down, get up underneath that so you can collect your check. Get your unemployment.
See this? Like, she trying to get. She's not the mic. You can't believe the mic just did it.
I come back to work the next day in a full body cast. They didn't have it secure in here because of the earthquake, and they didn't have the foundation.
Maria would go to court like an episode of Martin.
I'd be like, Ryan, you saw the ceiling fall on my head, didn't you?
She would get wheelchaired into court in a full body cast.
We'd all be fired.
And be like, yeah, what y'all didn't see from camera is that the whole side of the building collapsed and be asking for a lot of money. I like to call
my first witness, Ryan, and my second one, Josh, to the stand, please.
None of that would hold any water. I'm a move on from that. Tyreek Hill, and look, this was the end of the Olympics. Tyreek Hill said, as it related to Noah Lyles.
Oh.
Yeah, he just recently got the gold medal.
Right.
He said he can beat Noah in the 100.
Let me see.
I'm buying it.
You think so?
I'm buying it all day.
Izzy said Tyreek fast.
Tyreek's different.
Tyreek is different.
He's cheetah for a reason.
He is cheetah for a reason, but he's not Noah Lyles, who just won the gold in prime shape of his life.
And that's what he does for a living. Like Noah, that's his job. He runs track. He's track and field.
I'm not saying, because look, Tyreek also said I wouldn't beat him by that much. Like I wouldn't smoke him, but I would beat him. I think it would be the other way around. Tyreek Hill was running 10-1s and 10-2. Those are fast, phenomenal speeds. Noah ran a 9-something for the gold world record. So if the cheetah can run faster than the world record holder, the gold medalist,
he need to be in the Olympics.
He need to be in the Olympics.
Hold on,
there shouldn't be a question. Or on the 4x1 team or something.
Nah, he got to cash the check in the NFL. He's too busy running practice.
That's true.
You get what for a gold medal? You get what for a gold medal? Like $35,000? He's getting that every pass in the NFL.
It's worth
it.
Tyreek
Hill said it's not worth my time.
You get more for that. He would get more for the gold medals than he would for a Pro Bowl check. Ooh, he should go run one race.
Josh just said the NFL needs to play the players more when they go to the Pro Bowl.
And somebody has said this.
He didn't hear me. Are you saying the NFL needs to play the players more on the Pro Bowl?
Yes.
Is that what you said?
And then maybe they'll actually play.
And maybe they actually play.
Maybe they'll actually play.
You said it's like recess out there because they're not getting paid enough.
And I don't know why using that voice.
That's what Josh said. Josh said NFL, you got to play more for the Pro Bowl.
Pay more, and there'll be more of a Pro Bowl game.
It's just recess.
But hold on. So I truly think, Maria, all jokes aside.
We're joking.
That he
using thoughts here.
Maria, what the heck is somebody need to check her blood alcohol level. But I really think that she should, Maria, you messed me up. But I really think that Tyreek should run at least one race and it still be good. You telling me he can't run 100? He can't just run 100? But I think they should have an exhibition. I think he should train for an exhibition. He gonna train anyway.
All he had to do was go out there on the track and had a timer on, had a stopwatch on. Let's see it.
Yeah, let's take a commercial break. We'll get back to you guys.
We'll be right back. All right, now you guys, welcome back to the show. Now, everybody knows Tony. Josh, you know Tony, right?
I know Tony.
We have the roving restaurant reporter, Tony Musachio, on the show with us today. Tony, what's going on, baby?
What's up, T?
How are you guys? I love you. The cribs are in the house, and Tony's on his patio talking to the cribs. This is wonderful.
He's on his patio.
A nice patio it is, with, I'm sure, pristine, clean windows. But, Tony, can I just, you are always, going around town.
Right.
And you get to have the finest dining, the best, selections of restaurants. How does it feel to do what you do, report the finer things in life to the community of Cleveland and surrounding areas?
Guys, first of all, I am very lucky. How do I look, by the way? I have a face for radio, so I'm never.
No, you don't. That's a television face all day, baby.
I could be naked in my house doing my broadcast and nobody knows. So
well, just to let you know, you ain't on the radio.
Get naked, we get all kind of ratings.
Nah,
don't all kind of ratings. You got the censor button ready, Ryan.
Maria got to be good. Be good, y'all.
This is too funny.
Speaking of looking good, hold on.
Answer that question.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, I am very blessed. So I've been on the air last July. I've been on the air for 9 years, and thanks to Mike Trevisano, I was a caller on his show 10 years ago. Helped him with Coats for Kids, and I have a margarita business. So he sent me to all these different restaurants throughout northeastern Ohio, and they gave us a $200 or $300 gift certificate to give away at the gala at the end of the year. It was a $10 raffle ticket, which was really cool, Josh and Maria. So somebody would win a $5,000 dinner package. We had a sports package. We had a dinner package. We had signed autographs, of course, from athletes. It was a nice auction, like the benefits that I see you guys at. And what happened was, so I did this for about 6 months, and it was on the air on WTM 1100. And Ed Flash Ferentz, who's the old WMS guy, who's been on the air for 50 years in Cleveland, Ohio, heard me on the air. I met him at Corleone's at a Christmas party. I'm sharing a bottle of wine with this guy, a very expensive bottle of wine. And he says, you know what? I love what you do on the air. Why don't you do this on my radio show on Saturday morning on 1490 WERE?
Just that simple.
I'm on at 10 o'clock every Saturday. And let's feature a restaurant. So we started off once a month. And I said, guess what? I'm hungry. Let's do this once every week. So
there you go. That's how you do it, though.
Yeah.
And
So I get paid to do this. And, I have a crazy personality. I'm fun just like you guys. And it worked.
I can attest, sure I did rest in peace, Mike Trevisano, Triv.
Yeah.
I would do Coats for Kids with him every year. And so I can attest to how great that event was and how, a lot of people come together for charitable reasons, no matter their differences and everything. And we had a lot of fun doing for the Coats for Kids. So I remember that.
And Flash being on the air for over 50 years. But Tony, I got to say, when someone spots talent, they gotta reach out and grab it. And so they've grabbed you, and you've been, doing your thing with the Cleveland food scene and beyond. But can I just ask you, what do you think makes the Cleveland food scene so unique?
That's a great question. First of all, we have so many great restaurants in the city that are ethnic restaurants. And of course, you have them in Chicago and New York City, but it's affordable. You can get into the restaurants. And again, they're all close together. A lot of them are we have suburbs where you can find a little corner bar that I always say, like a Cerna's in downtown Bedford, was literally a shot and beer place 65 years ago. You can now get a burger there for $5, a Monday night burger. You can get a prime rib for $19, mashed potatoes and green beans. Think about that, Maria. I mean,
you're making us hungry.
You can't even go to the grocery store and get food for those prices.
Right. You're making us hungry. Yeah. We understand the food scene in Cleveland because it's a melting pot, like you said. A lot of different ethnic restaurants and a lot of different venues, and it's not too far apart. And you can easily attain it.
I want to show a video. Ryan, you got the video?
Yeah, you kidnapped my wife last weekend. You kidnapped her, Tony.
Yeah. So we were at a restaurant called Flower, and what is that? Is that
Chagrin Boulevard?
Chagrin? No, is that Orange?
What city is that? It's Moreland Hills.
Moreland Hills.
Yes.
And I had this. Your wife. I was being greedy. His wife.
Yeah, I know.
His wife had this.
Oh, his wife or mine?
No, his wife. Okay. On the platter across from me, she had this nice, beautiful looking fillet of fish. What was that?
Bronzini. It's a Mediterranean white flaked fish.
I had some bronzini.
It is very good. I mean, it is like the high-end fish in the Mediterranean Sea. And, of course, you see it in Florida. And now it's in Cleveland, where it was a great price. It was only like $32 for that fish. It used to come with the head. I tell them, listen, cut the head and tail off. I want to eat.
Yeah, it used to come with the head. For visual effects, Tony. That's what that is, for visual effects. You got to. Was the hook still in the mouth when it used to come with the head?
That fish was delicious. I'd pay whatever for that. Tony, okay, so real quick, we got to go. We press for time always on this show. If I'm bringing family into town, can you give me like top 3 to 5 restaurants that you must bring out of towners to when they hit our streets?
Absolutely. So flour is one of them. You have to try the tagliatelle bolognese, which we didn't have. It is the macaroni with meat. It's absolutely delicious with their homemade sauce. And I'm Italian. I make my own sauce. Theirs is just as good.
Okay.
Alley Cat in the Flats. If you like seafood, it has everything from clams to halibut to salmon. The salmon is so fresh, it's swimming up the stream. You got to catch it.
I like that.
Collision Bend. That's another great one. Which is
I've
the
been there.
sister restaurant.
You been
That's
there?
a cool
Yeah.
one, Josh.
Oh, nice.
Yes,
It's
I've been
a
there.
brewery.
Ryan,
and
you been
it
there
used
too?
to be-
Oh, I thought you were shaking his head like he's been there too.
What it
okay.
used to be?
Uh-huh.
It used to be the old Watermark.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was, on the river, Cuyahoga River. And again, anything in the flats now. So Nautica Queen just got replaced by Lady Carolina, which is the ultimate cruise ship that is right now on Lake Erie. You can sail 7 days a week. It's anywhere from, I believe, $39 to $54, a 3-hour cruise. Not the Gilligan 3-hour cruise, a 3-hour cruise with food and entertainment.
Oh,
Man,
that's
that's amazing.
nice. Now, speaking of food entertainment, we would be remiss if we didn't talk about drinks. Tell us about your margarita line you have.
Yeah, so I have a frozen margarita company, which we sell to about 100 Mexican restaurants in 3 states. And you know what? I branded myself, Maria.
That's how you do
knows
it.
Tony, that's on the label. So I got into this.
Tony.
I sold it many years ago for a company that I worked for, and I broke off on my own. And I found a manufacturer out of Florida, and they actually made my own recipe. They weren't going to put my label on it. And eventually, I was selling so much product, I said, just put my label on it. I am like a little celebrity in Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh, yes, you are.
Let's make this happen.
Not
And
a
it
little,
worked.
not a little, a
I love
big,
you, Maria.
There you go.
big
Thank you.
celebrity.
Thank you,
Everybody
guys.
knows
Everybody
Tony.
knows
And Tony and I
Tony.
were talking this weekend. You're right, Tony. I need to tap into some more of my gifts, and I need to get some products and start selling some things that I'm passionate about. So you're right, Josh. You
Yeah, so
always
y'all
been.
got to look out for Maria now. She going to take
And-
Tony's advice
I
on
wanna
what she
follow,
already
like,
wanted to
I'll do a hard cider. Can I make a hard cider? I like cider.
Yes, I have
Wine?
a friend who opened up a vodka company, and it's called Urbane Vodka, and she did it during the pandemic.
Oh.
She was a nurse, became a nurse practitioner, had no idea how to make vodka. She found a manufacturing company, and she did it, and now she's in a lot of the retail stores and beverage stores and liquor stores.
Just got to
So
do it.
you know what? You got to do it. You got
Okay.
the idea. Maria, it's going to happen.
And Tony,
okay?
hold on. It's going to happen. And I can't let you go without saying, before I left Flower, I put my hands all over the windows because I know you don't want to do the window cleaning. So let everybody know how they can call you for your services.
AssuredWindowCleaning.com.
I like
Go
what
over
she
my-
said. She put her hands all on the window
Like,
so
they
they
gonna call
can
my,
be
they gonna
dirty
call my
again.
Tony, right?
I love it.
And then
Tony,
guess
thank
what?
you, man.
And then Little John's hands were right underneath her.
Oh, y'all. I love Little John and his wife too. Tell our viewers where can they find you. I do, by the way. I owe you a dinner, so we got to go out sometime.
That's fair.
Tell our viewers where can they
Absolutely.
find you, where
We
can they
always have a
follow you,
fun
because
night.
I know they love
So
you.
again, you can tune me in every Saturday morning on Flashpoint 1490 WERE. 1490 WERE. We're on between 10 o'clock and 11 every Saturday morning, which was the old 1300 WJMO.
Thank
So
you.
I'm the only white Italian Catholic Jew on an all black owned radio station.
Hey, you
I'm like
checking-
one guy in Cleveland Heights.
You're checking off all the boxes,
There you
Tony. We
go.
love you. Thank you so much for joining
Love
our
you
show.
too.
Tell Flash the
See you
crib said
guys.
what's up, okay?
You got it.
Okay.
Enjoy.
All right. See
See
you
you
guys.
soon.
We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. All right. Now, welcome back to the show.
Yeah, I found this cruise, Maria,
Uh-huh.
that, we went on the fan cruise, the Browns.
Right.
I think that this should be our next cruise, Ryan. I think me and you, we could leave Maria home.
Always trying to leave a lady alone.
So you can pay $2,000
Oh, I'm there.
to join a nude cruise leaving
I
Miami
didn't know this is where we were going with this.
that wraps up on Valentine's Day. So I come home right in time for Valentine's Day, Maria, right off the cruise.
Who want to be on a nude cruise? All them pubic
I
hairs
just
all on
go
the floor.
sightseeing.
Ain't nobody trying to see that.
Pubic hairs.
Oh, Ryan got his hair.
Ryan,
right.
I
like
do.
me. Like I just want for the
I do.
sightseeing.
I do.
I want to go just so I can say, you know what, son, to my grandchildren. You know what? Back in the day, this is me looking old, and
I gotta hit the gym.
Can't see anymore.
Hit the
You
gym
know what?
ASAP.
Back in the day, there was this nude cruise. I did that. Your grandmama got mad, but I did that, son.
Oh my God.
I want to be able to say I did that.
Sign me up, please.
And I'm going to have my glasses on.
I don't know why every time I see photos.
I'm going to be like this, like, ooh, wee. And I'm be the only one with clothes on. Ryan going to be like, I'm going to try this new thing.
You're going to have your clothes on?
Yeah. I'm gonna have some
that's
shorts
part
on.
of the rules to take everything
It ain't
off.
no rules.
Take it off.
It ain't no rules. That's the thing.
In your birthday suit.
You have the choice. And I choose that, you know what? I'm going to cover up.
I don't
I'm
think
married.
if you go on a new cruise, you have a choice. There's no option. You have to be in your birthday suit.
I get to choose, Ryan, that my wife said I couldn't do. I can go on the cruise, but I can't put
I'm going to say he lying.
my business out there.
If you're going to do it, you got to be commit to it. Birthday suit.
I'm being pictures with all the ladies.
Don't be walking around with no pasties on, Josh.
Drunk. Hey. You see I'm going to have the pasties on?
Don't have no pasties on. Full frontal birthday suit. Look, you guys.
Hot tub.
We love y'all so much for watching. Thank you for joining us. Like, share, subscribe.
Unedited
If you're watching
footage
us
of that
on
will
YouTube.
be on every station.
Love y'all. Have a good week. Goodbye.
Peace.
I can't.